Shalom. Hey, Kelly. Hola, hola. I'm just going over some verses here, looking at things while some people get in here. Shalom. Just as he chose us in him before the foundation of the world, that we would be holy and blameless before him in love. Shalom, wifey. For this reason too, having heard of the faith of the Messiah which exists among you and your love for all the saints. Shalom, Kevin. Yeah, I just told him. Shalom, Viking. Ephesians 4:15. But speaking the truth in love, we are to grow up in all aspects into him who is the head. That is the Messiah. That's right. I got it pointed so that you can't see the bathroom this time. Shalom, Nick. All right, here's the one that kind of hits what we've been talking about as far as the body of the Messiah. Ephesians 4:16. Hey, you figured out how to pin comments. Awesome. I don't know how to do that. And Candace was saying she couldn't do it before. From whom the whole body, being fitted and held together by what every joint supplies, according to the proper working of each individual part, because the growth of the body for the building up of itself in love. It's not always available. Shalom, Samuel. Shalom, Yvette. Jen, Mabel. Shalom, shalom. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. I hope everybody had a great day today again. Mine was a little long in testing, but I made it. I made it to here at least, so that's good. Here, I'll help you. And walk in love, just as the Messiah also loved you and gave himself up for us, an offering and a sacrifice to Elohim as a fragrant aroma. Shalom, Teresa. Yes, he was our atonement sacrifice. Ephesians 5:25. Husbands, love your wives, just as Messiah also loved the church and gave himself up for her. Loved Israel. Shalom, Carlton. I'm just kind of reading some verses until CrossFix gets in here. So husbands also ought to love their own wives as their own bodies. He who loves his own wife loves himself. That one was number 28, but I'm going to go to 33 next. Nevertheless, as for you individually, each husband is to love his own wife the same as himself, and the wife must see to it that she respects her husband. Shalom, Ashley. Shalom, yeah. Obedience from those who pray with their lips. That's right. If you have a man of the Father that is walking in his ways, there should be no problem. They're doing that anyways. Grace be with all those who love Yahshua Messiah with incorruptible love. What is incorruptible love? Well, he said, if you love me, you'll keep my commandments. That's what the Messiah said, how to prove that you love him. And this, I pray that your love may overflow still more and more in real knowledge and all discernment. So as you're growing, your heart, you should love more. Your heart shouldn't get colder. Your heart should not be getting hardened. It should be growing with the knowledge and discernment that you get, so that it is eventually overflowing. Philippians 2:2. Make my joy complete by being of the same mind, maintaining the same love, united in spirit, intent on one purpose. Now, does that sound like 45,000 denominations there? No. They do not have one purpose. They are not united in spirit. And if anything, they use the Spirit as a crutch for their name dropping. But this is what we're trying to do here, is we all are trying to be united in one mind, united in the Spirit and intent on one purpose. And that's bringing our Father's word back to this earth and back to our children, back to the people of this world, while maintaining the same love. I'm going to go turn my heat off for a moment. All right, so husbands, love your wives and do not become bitter against them. That's probably a good one to remember right there. especially when there's something about people that this one is Colossians 3:19. Sorry. Husbands, love your wives and do not become bitter against them. This can go both ways. This doesn't have to be necessarily one way or the other. Shalom, brother. But shalom, Anthony. But that's something we need to remember, especially when we spend day in and day out with this person. It sometimes can become easy to be bitter. That's weird that you can't pin comments anymore. I'm doing well, Anthony. How are you? So, one thing that we need to remember, like some people, is in order to not become bitter, is to try to hold on to that love that you had at the beginning. There's a reason why you're together, and there's a reason why you were brought together, and that's something that needs to be remembered. Love isn't always about the happy feelings that make you feel good, and no, we're just waiting for someone to get in here, and I'm just going over some verses about love. We're just waiting for CrossFix to get in here, but this is one that's just caught my attention, so I'm kind of going into detail about it. You're right, love isn't always easy. It takes work, and sometimes it takes sacrifice and dedication. And if you can't do those two things, then you probably don't love them. Just like with the Messiah. It takes sacrifice and it takes dedication. What about single with a cat? Well, you don't have to worry about that one then. I'm pretty sure your cats are going to love you as long as you feed them. Probably even if you don't. But just as in, we're going to be married to our Father, to the Messiah. We have a divorce bill given to us right now, but he's going to come back to us. So we need to come back to him as well. And even though he may be bitter with us, he's going to forgive us. And we need, I know some people like to hold things against our Father, but most times the reason why things happen to us or why we are living in a sinful way is because of our own choices and our own decisions, almost 99% of the time. So we very much have to remember that he is not the reason why these things are happening to us, and we can't hold our bitterness against him. So, shalom, cross fixed. I am very protective of my husband when it comes to anyone trying to mute you. Yeah, well, somebody did that. They tried today, and they can try all they want, but I'll find a way to speak. I'll find a way for my voice to be heard one way or another. Come on up. I was just kind of filling some time. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, bro. How's it going?
Oh, pretty good. Pretty good. Just, dealing with the kid stuff. Got one sick and whatnot, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
about
I
you?
hear. I'm all right. I came home and I crashed for like an hour and a half, but I was tired.
Well, that's always nice to get a nap in.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
I never complain when I get naps in.
Nope, nope, no. Neither do I. I was just right before you went live. I was gathering some tools for work, getting some things that I needed for work, like my drills and impact drills and sawzall and whatnot.
Right on. I had a productive day as well. I got a pretty good bid done, so we got that emailed off right before, well, just a couple hours ago. So that's always good, and uh,
Mm-hmm.
and that'd be a real good job if I get it. So hopefully that falls through. Praise Yah.
Yep. Hold on, let me sit down. Sit down in my little chair.
So what did you want to go over tonight? You wanted to say you said Deuteronomy. You want to start at the beginning then, and kind of work our way up to 28 or something, or
Yeah, we can do that.
okay.
Yeah, let me clean off my glasses here.
No hurry at all. Yeah, it's the craziest thing. I tried making a like a fake number or whatever, one of them free numbers to put another WhatsApp name on
Mm-hmm.
there. They like block all the apps, so I can't even. It's got to be like a valid phone number. I'd have to go buy a burner phone or something.
That's insane.
Yeah, just to have a WhatsApp number. So I guess I won't be on WhatsApp unless my appeal goes through because I'm not spending money for that.
Did it give you a reason?
It didn't at all. It just all of a sudden popped up and said, you can no longer use this account.
That's wild. I wonder what happened.
Yeah, that's interesting. There's one person that could have reported me, but I'm not going to talk about that on here. You never know who's listening. They might be listening. Oh, he's got a phone call. I have a SIM card watch as my second phone. Yep, it's not the key words, so you can say that word. No, you be quiet, dog. All right, I got antsy dogs right now for some reason. I don't know what's going on. Sorry about the noise. We're gonna start at Deuteronomy 1. We did Deuteronomy 28 through the end of it last night. So tonight I think we're gonna start at Deuteronomy 1 and then work our way up to however far we get. And then probably go up to 28. And we're just going to be studying the Torah for the next few nights, I believe. Oh, wow. Yeah, my dogs are going a little crazy right now. Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on. They hear something or something, but it's like negative 12 outside. So I can't let them outside no matter how bad they want to go outside. I can't let them out all the time because their little posies will freeze off. Well, I will just start reading some of Deuteronomy 1 here, and we'll get started while he's finishing up his phone call. And then if I miss something, we can always go back to it. The ending is brutal for unbelievers. Absolutely. Yeah, that was good. It was a good read last night. Last effort to bring brothers to truth tonight. Claws came out. They are so lost. Yep, they are. Claws are coming out. All right, I gotta figure out these dogs quick. Sorry. Go ahead. Go freeze. Don't feel bad. All right. All right, let's start reading. I don't know where he went, but I guess he'll be back. He must have had something come up. All right. Okay, well, let's take these questions. Let's take a little break and let him do what he's doing, and then D. Marie. Did Joshua change the law from eye for an eye to turn the other cheek? That's a very good question. If it was, we'd all be Jewish. Okay. Well, if he said it, then it must be so, right, Kathy? I mean, I don't believe that we're really supposed to be, I think that goes along with judgment, like, as far as he never desired sacrifice, he desired mercy, okay? So even though the law was said to this and said to this, he wanted people to be corrected and to be taught through the law. That's what his desire was through this whole time. So it's a very good question. That's right. He desires obedience, and he also desires no wickedness in his presence. And if you're not doing those things that he commands, then that is considered transgression of the law or transgression of the Torah. And then he removes wickedness from his presence, just like he will do in the end times. So that is something to consider. All right. We also need to remember that vengeance is his. It's not ours. Micah 6:8. Let's go read that. Yeah, if you guys don't mind helping me out tonight in the comments, I got a lot going on here tonight, I guess. And I got a kid that's sick I'm helping take care of, and the kids are being a pain in the butt. But I'm going to try to do what I can here for a little while. As long as I can. I'm going to go to Micah 6:8, and we're going to answer that question right now. Thank you, Joshua. He hath showed thee, O man, what is good, and what that doth Yahweh require of thee, but to do justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with thy Elohim. Yahweh's voice crieth unto the city, and the man of wisdom shall see thy name. Hear ye the rod, and who hath appointed it? Yeah, that was 3:9 right there, and that's a good answer. The rod is what's going to happen at the end with the rod and the Messiah. They're going to remove wickedness. Shalom, Nikolai. Kids being kids, who would... Yeah, it happens. The dog kids are the most wild. They are the most pain in the butt. But I love them all, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. Do I have any proof that the Torah is not digital? What does that even mean? Chewy Sith Slayer. I don't even know what that means. I mean, I'm holding it as a book in my hand, so that's not digital. if that's what you're talking about. I'm not able to post scriptures tonight. I don't know how much scriptures there's going to be posted here tonight anyways. We might just kind of do a free for all if CrossFix doesn't get back in. So, hey, you have a good night at work, Joshua. Hey, your name is Micah68. I don't know either. LOL. Have a good night, brother. Thank you, Kathy. Shalom, Sarah. Shalom. All right. So what do you guys want to do? What do you want to go over until CrossFix gets back? I didn't really have anything prepared, but I'll kind of try and keep up here. I'm going to read Deuteronomy 6:4. All right. Hear, O Israel, Yahweh our Elohim is one Yahweh. And thou shalt love Yahweh thy Elohim with all thine heart and with all thy soul and with all thy might. And these words which I command you this day shall be in thine heart. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand, and they shall be as frontlets between thine eyes. And thou shalt write them upon the posts of thy house and on thy gates. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Do you guys have the commandments wrote on your doorways? I know Nikolai does. I think he talked about doing that with his kids. And what do you call it when you plastic them or whatever? Big request pinned, Ezekiel 6:9. Sorry, I couldn't see that. My eyes aren't the best, but I got you. I will go to that next. We have one of our doorways written on, but we need to do more. All right, CrossFix is back.
I'm sorry, guys. I had another individual call me to come look at a house tomorrow. That's two I got to go look at tomorrow. So Yahweh's really blessing me with some open doors lately, and just continue to trust in Him, and I know He'll make it happen for me. I know He will, whatever route He chooses for me to go. So I'm very excited because there's some two very nice places I'm going to look at for a decent price, and I'm pretty excited.
Hallelujah. That is great. That is great news. Yeah. No worries, man. I filled some time. I don't know if I did it very well, but I did.
Hey, I'm sure you did just fine, sir.
There's one verse that I'm going to read here quick. There's a request for that, and then we can go on to wherever. And they that escape. Oh, this is Ezekiel 6:9 is what I'm going to read.
Okay. I'll go over there with you.
But that's awesome news, man. Patience sometimes just turns corners.
Yeah, I was starting to want to freak out, like, but I kept saying to myself that there's going to be a light at the end of this tunnel, so I just need to keep going. So
endure to the end, right?
that's right.
All right. And they that escaped of you shall remember me among the nations, whither they shall be carried captives, because I am broken with their whorish heart, which hath departed from me, and with their eyes, which go a whoring after their idols, and they shall loathe themselves for the evils which they have committed in all their abominations. Very good verse. Yeah, I'm froze, huh?
You're fine on my side.
Okay. Well, yeah, I don't know why that verse was brought up, but I don't even know because it's Suzanne that asked it. But it's a very good verse. It talks about the people of this world right now. But what are you doing? Hold on a minute. I gotta take care of my kid real quick.
Go for it, bro. Four horsemen's in verse 12, Suzanne. Amy Lee, that's a touchy subject there, because we don't deter people who try to keep the feast. Um, but when you know where the land is specifically, and no, it's not that land over there that's called Rhode Island, um, and understand the springtime Passover, just using that as an example, um, you know that it's completely different timing than what it would be over here in America. It's the exact opposite of spring. Their springs and their summers are completely backwards compared to ours. So that's the reason if we keep it at our time here, we'd be keeping it wrong because it's not the land's Passover. And also remember, it was when we got to go into that land is when we got to keep those feasts. It was when they were leaving Egypt.
All right, sorry about that.
No problem, bro.
Where you guys at?
No, I had somebody asking about the feast days, and I had to do just a little bit of a explanation on it.
Oh,
That yeah,
okay,
it's
great.
it's it's particularly for the land. So what I was explaining was that the time zones are completely different than ours. So their spring is literally what would it be? I'm trying to think. Their spring would be like our winter, and our winter, their summers are our winter as well. It's completely different there,
hmm
and
And
that's fine, Amy. That's absolutely fine. You can do that. That's there's nothing wrong with that. That's why Paul said, "Let no man judge you by, the meaning of feast days and Sabbaths." So if you feel compelled to do that, then go for it. Be you know, do what you feel he's calling you to do.
hmm absolutely. And like for us, we don't necessarily keep the feast because we aren't like doing sacrifices and offerings and all of that stuff. But we do try to remember, and the days, um, yeah, and we don't really like hold to a certain calendar or anything, but we have our own calendar that we kind of use and we just kind of remember the days and, you know, go about it that way. But we don't do anything that's going to be like a smoke to his nostrils or anything like that. So, everybody does their own thing. I hear that there is when I was talking to some people, like I hear there's people that actually do sacrifices and stuff yet, like are killing lambs and stuff. And I was like, whoa, like I didn't know that's how people were actually still keeping the feasts, but
Yes, and that's a lot more spiritual than most would think. It's actually it's the prophesying of a Messiah in the book of Exodus when it talks about the slaying of the lamb that's between the evenings. Our Messiah was slain between the evenings, and
Mm-hmm.
you shall eat his flesh and consume everything and leave nothing until morning, all night. Remember, all night, because we're in darkness right now until his return, and
Right.
whatever's left will get burned. Remember, it's going to be devoured and taken away. That's
Yep.
why you have to have your lamps full. A lot of that stuff plays into effect. There's there, like this book goes so deep, guys.
Yeah.
It's
I can
awesome. I
see what
love
you're
it.
saying now about the prophecy and those words now.
Hmm.
Yep.
That's why when we read the Torah, we should always, and Paul stressed it so much, read it according to the Spirit, not according to the letter.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, I've got the feast. We've got um, we got Matzut, Shavuot, and Gathering and Pisa. So, I mean, and all those days here in America are absolutely completely backwards over there in the true promised land. And that's why I don't keep them because remember when was those feasts given unto Israel? It's when they were pulled out of Egypt. And we know that this is going to be a second Exodus and we're waiting on the two witnesses to come to pull us out of this Egypt system. And we truly don't know when the feasts really are because we're not in the land. We're in Egypt right now. We're in the West, and if we're keeping it wrong, I'd rather not keep it at all than try to do it and do it wrong. You know what I mean? I'd rather wait for the boss to get here to show me how to do it right. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yep, because he's made it very clear about what happens when you do those sacrifices and offerings wrong and how he feels about them.
Yeah.
So,
It's just like when you do a job, if you're going to do something and you run into something that you just don't know, don't take it upon yourself to go and do something and then make it worse or, do something that wasn't supposed to be done and then get your rear end chewed out by the boss when he comes back. You know what I mean?
yep.
It's the same principle.
Yeah, and
We're
then
waiting on our teacher of righteousness. I'm sorry. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you, bro.
and then even if you did like say you got the calendar right and all that stuff, now you got to like break it down to the actual time zone and like time frame compared to here and all of that. Like, there's a lot of detail. Even if you think you got it right, like there's probably something you're missing, and you're not going to get it right.
Tammy, let me explain something to you. And again, I'm not judging you for doing this. Okay, most people don't know where the land is because it's hidden and it's hidden in Scripture. And most people are trying to search Google to find where the land is, and that's where their biggest error lies. The Scripture specifically tells us where the land is and where we're going, where the gathering of the elect will be. Now, if you know where that land is, and you say Passover is in spring, right? So if you look where springtime is, I'm just using this as an example. I'm not giving you a set date because it could vary. It would be in October. Okay. So if it's October there and we're keeping it in April here, are we keeping it properly? No, we're not keeping it according to Yahweh's time. We're just not. And that's why even in Zechariah 14, we go over there real quick and I'll show you. That's why when the gathering of the elect happens, Messiah is on reigning on the earth. Where is it? Messiah is reigning on the earth. All the nations of the earth have to go there to celebrate the festival of Sukkot. Why is that? Because they can't keep it in their lands. It's a completely different time. Uh, Zechariah 14:16, and it shall be that all who are left of all the nations which come up against Jerusalem shall go up from year to year to bow themselves to the sovereign Yahweh of hosts and to celebrate the festival of Sukkot. And it shall be that if any one of the clans of the earth does not come up to Jerusalem to bow himself to the sovereign Yahweh of hosts, of them there is to be no rain, which is the Spirit. So all the nations of the earth, can they celebrate it where they're at? No. They got to go up there year to year to celebrate it. Why? Because the time zone is completely different than the rest of the world. That's why.
And then I'm going to read here on some prophecy in Hosea. This is talking about the end times also. And I will cause her mirth to cease, her feast days, her new moons, and her Sabbaths, and all her solemn feasts.
To cease, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I know that prophecy. Yeah.
Yep.
Everything's ceased. When
Yep.
Yeshua comes back, everything's going to be established. That's Joel. Hold on. We'll go over there. I won't. I don't want to speak too quickly.
Yeah, it
So,
looks like Tammy did leave, but we'll finish.
yeah. Most people don't like to hear the truth on that because it's a touchy subject. That's why I always say, if you feel compelled to keep them, keep them. But in reality, if you're keeping them here in this land, you're keeping them wrong. And that's just the real truth behind it. Unfortunately, a lot of people can't handle that. Hold on. I wasn't trying to offend that lady either. I was just trying to tell her the truth, by the way.
Right. No, you can't help who gets offended sometimes. That's the thing about speaking the truth.
Joel chapter 2, verse 22 and 23. Let's go over there, guys. Guys, let's remain humble about it. This is some touchy stuff for a lot of people because a lot of people do try their best to keep the feast and they just don't understand some things. So just, try to be a little more understanding about it, because people are trying to do right. It's just, and that's why we're called not to judge them, but we are called to tell them the truth. That's all.
I'm going to direct this, Estella. How do we know that the Sabbath is correct doing it on Saturdays? Well, one way we know that's correct is because the Roman Catholic Church changed the Sabbath from Saturday to Sunday. And the Messiah kept the Saturday Sabbath, and it's a 7-day cycle. So just from the Roman Catholic Church keeping it as Sunday, we know that it's Saturday.
Yes, there's always been a 7-day cycle, and that seventh day has always been Saturday. And Rome specifically moved that Sabbath to Sunday, which is the first day of the week.
Joel 2:24, you said?
20, 22 and 23.
Okay.
But if you're reading it from the King James, you're probably not going to get the truth of the translation and what it says. So let's just see what your translation says.
Okay. Be not afraid, ye beasts of the field, for the pastures of the wilderness do spring. For the tree beareth her fruit, the fig tree and the vine do yield their strength. Be glad then, ye children of Zion, and rejoice in Yahweh your Elohim, for he hath given you the former rain moderately, and he will cause to come down for you the rain, the former rain, and the latter rain in the first month.
Yep. But here's what mine says in verse 23. And you, children of Zion, be glad and rejoice in Yahweh your Elohim, for he shall give you the teacher of righteousness, which is our Messiah. And he shall and cause the rain to come down for you, and the former rain and the latter rain as before. That's a
Yeah,
big
that's quite a
difference.
bit different. Yeah.
Hmm.
It doesn't say anything about the first month, it just says as before.
Hmm.
Huh. Wow.
The former rain and the latter rain as before.
Yep. Yeah, it's definitely a different way of wording it. They make it way confusing on here.
I'm gonna go check the translation. I thought I looked that up before, and found that it was an error in the King James, because that was one of the things that I noticed there. It's been a while since I've been over there.
For he hath given you the former rain moderately. And he will cause to come down for you the rain, the former rain, and the latter rain in the first month. Very interesting.
That word, where is it? 23. Moderately. The former
Yeah.
rain moderately is righteousness,
Okay.
and the former rain 4175 is teacher of teaching. So teaching of righteousness. It is the teacher of righteousness. It's our Messiah.
Okay.
So that is an error in the King James Bible. That's why I like this book, this version so much better of the because they go strictly based off of Hebrew, and it comes from the land. So that's why. Uh, Here, I'll show you. Hold on a
Which one
second.
are you reading out of?
The TS 2009. Here, let me show you. Let's
Okay.
see. I don't know if you can see it though, but we'll try. See that right here?
Yep. Oh, okay. Yep.
Yeah. That's why I like this Bible, because
Yep.
it comes from there.
I see. I was gonna say I've never even heard of that version before.
Yeah, it's really good. It's a very good, solid translation. I've before I start reading from this one, I used to read from three different Bibles in front of my face. I'd have a NSAB, I'd have a King James, and I would have a concordance, or I'd have a New King James. I'd have three Bibles laid out in front of me because I was noticing too many errors with translation. And when I got this one here, um, I did the same thing for a while because I still didn't trust translation. But the more I kept reading through it, the more I kept understanding, okay, these guys were trying to be as honest as possible. And then I finally stopped having three, four Bibles in front of my face, and I just started reading it because it's on point.
Hmm. Awesome. I'll have to look into that.
And it's easy to read too. That's the fantastic thing about it. It's so easy and fluent, and just flows like gentle water when you read it.
Nice.
You know, the King James. I'm not a King James basher, but the King James, when I try to read that, it really twists me up a lot. You know,
Yeah.
the old English, which is, some people can do it just fine, but for me, it's a little complicated. I get sidetracked sometimes.
Yeah, and for me, I can just read it super fast sometimes, and sometimes I like can't make it through a six sentence word or six word sentence. It's
Can
just hit and miss on that for me.
can you download apps on your computer?
I think so. I really haven't even messed with my laptop much, but I'm pretty sure I can.
Well, if you can, what kind of laptop is it?
It's a Dell Intel Core i3. Um, it's got to be only about 5 years old or less.
Is it a Chromebook or just a regular XP?
See, I don't even know much about computers. it's uh, it's got Windows XP or Windows. It's got a Windows something.
Okay. I was gonna say, if it's a Chromebook, you can download apps just like you could download on your phone.
Okay.
Yeah, but there's this app that you can download called the Holy Bible, and it has all the translations in it, and it's the only one that you can download that has that version, which is called the TS 2009, and you can read it through your computer while you're waiting. You know,
Okay. Apps. Yeah, this thing's got like Microsoft Store on it and stuff, so I should be able to get apps.
just look up Holy Bible; it'll look red.
I got one here. It's just a Bible, but it's white.
Oh, No,
Oh,
it'll
here
be
we go.
red.
Yep, yep. It just says Holy Bible on the book.
Yeah, let me look just to be sure. Let me look at it real quick for you.
Kind of reddish and brownish.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. With the circle around it.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's called U version when you open it up.
Okay.
What a wonderful time for my headset to try to die on me. It shouldn't take you long to download.
That's
While you're doing that, I'm gonna plug in my headset. So hold on a minute. I'll be right back.
okay. The point is, on the fourth day, Yah created the sun, then he rested on the seventh. Yeah, people try to go into all these crazy things with the Sabbath. Like I've heard ones about like you got to count like 7 days after the new moon and all this stuff, and it's like the Messiah was here and he recognized it as a day, and if we can go every 7 days from that day, it's pretty easy to figure out. Interesting, huh?
Why it's not working? Weird. Figure though.
Oh, let's see. I think I got the app,
There we go.
but I do not know how to use it. It says Shepherd Bible.
Did you download it?
I think, I don't know if I got the right one. It says Shepherd Bible.
Does on the bottom of the screen does it give you options home, Bible, plans, and discover?
Nope. It's all on the left side.
Okay. Well, does it say Bible?
It says reader, notebook, bookmarks, highlighter, translations.
No, that's the wrong one.
Yeah.
Here, let me show you mine. Hold my screen up again, if you don't mind. All right, so here's what it'll look like when you download it. Right here, this one right here,
Okay.
Holy Bible. You pull it up. That's what it'll look like with the circle U version. And then come down here, click Bible. And see on the top right here, gives you an option.
Oh, yeah.
You have tons and tons and tons of translations to choose from. This is like a massive one where you can have whatever you like version of the Bible.
Wow.
And yeah, right here's what you'll be looking for, the TS 2009. And it reads the same as our Scriptures Bible, so.
Nice.
And it's free.
I don't think my computer allows me to do that. I'm not able to find that app anyways.
That's all right. All right, there we go. But that's what you'll be looking for.
Okay. I'm sure I can get it from my phone though once I get off here.
Oh yeah, you can get it for your phone for sure. But that's why I was asking if you had a Chromebook, because if you have a Chromebook, you can download all the cell phone apps on your phone. If you have a regular laptop, you can't do that. It has to be a Chromebook.
Oh yeah, I don't. No.
Yeah. But Chromebooks, they're cheaper than laptops. That's the crazy thing about it. They're only like $125. They're really cheap.
Wow.
Yeah, they're real cheap. That's how much I paid for mine, and I love it way better than because my last laptop I used, I bought a laptop specifically so I can do Bible studies, and it was a pain in the rear. But this Chromebook has made it so much easier.
Huh. I'll have to check into that too. All right. Yeah, shalom, Jackie. Good night.
All right, so let's go over to Deuteronomy. Get started.
Okay.
I know everybody's waiting. Sorry, guys. I was trying to help him.
That takes a while. I mean, I need a lot of help, so. Did you want me to start reading that one there? Or how do you want to work this out?
I could start if you want.
Okay.
All right, so Deuteronomy 1:1. These are the words which Moses spoke to all Israel beyond the Jordan, in the wilderness in the desert plain opposite of Soph, between Paran and Tophel and Laban and Hasteroth and Dihab, 11 days' journey from Oreb, by the way of Mount Seir to Kadesh, Barnea. And it came to be in the 40th year, in the 11th new moon, on the first day of the new moon, that Moses spoke to the children of Israel according to all Yahweh had commanded him concerning them. And he had stricken Sihon, sovereign of the Amorites, who dwelt in Heshbon, Og, sovereign of Bashan, who dwelt in Ashtaroth and Edrei, beyond the Jordan in the land of Moab. Moses undertook to declare this Torah, saying, Yahweh our Elohim spoke to us in Horeb, saying, you have dwelt long enough at this mountain. Turn and set out on your way and go into the mountains of the Amorites, and to all the neighboring places in the desert plains, in the mountains, in the low country, and in the Negev, which is the south, and on the sea coast to the land of the Canaanites, and Lebanon, as far as the great river of the Euphrates. See, I have set the land before you. Go in and possess the land which Yahweh swore to your fathers, to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, to give to them and their seed after them. And I spoke to you at that time, saying, I am unable to bear you by myself. Yahweh your Elohim has increased you, and see, you are today as numerous as the stars of the heavens. Yahweh Elohim of your fathers is going to add to you 1,000 times more than you are, and bless you as he has spoken to you. How do I bear your pressure and your burden and your strife by myself? Choose men wise and understanding and known to your tribes, and let me appoint them as your heads. And you answered me and said, the word which you have spoken to us to do is good. And I took the heads of your tribes, wise men and known, and made them heads over you, leader of thousands and leaders of hundreds and leaders of fifties and leaders of tens, officers for your tribes. And I commanded your judges at the time, saying, when hearing between your brothers, judge righteously between a man and his brother, or the sojourner who is with him. Remember, guys, this all has to do with agency. Do not show partiality in right ruling. Hear the small as well as the great. Do not be afraid of anyone's face, for the right ruling belongs to Yahweh. And the case which is too hard for you, bring it to me, and I shall hear it. And I commanded you at that time all the words which you should do. Then we set out from Horeb and went through all the great and awesome wilderness which you saw on the way to the mountain of the Amorites, as Yahweh our Elohim had commanded us. And we came to Kadesh Barnea. And I said to you, you have come to the mountains of the Amorites, which Yahweh our Elohim has given us. See, Yahweh your Elohim has set the land before you. Go up and possess it, as Yahweh Elohim of your fathers has spoken to you. Do not fear, nor be discouraged. And all of you came near to me and said, let us send men before us, and let them search out the land for us, and bring back word to us
of the way by which we should go up, and of the cities into which we would come. And the matter was good in my eyes. So I took 12 of your men, one man from each tribe, and they turned and went up into the mountains and came to the Wadi Eshcol and spied it out. And they took some of the fruit of the land in their hands and brought it down to us. And they brought back word to us, saying, the land which Yahweh our Elohim is giving us is good. But you would not go up, and rebelled against the mouth of Yahweh your Elohim, and grumbled in your tents, and said, because Yahweh was hating us, he was brought us out of the land of Egypt to give us into the hand of the Amorites to destroy us. Where are we going to? Our brothers have made our hearts melt, saying, the people are greater and taller than we. The cities are great and walled up to the heavens, and we saw the sons of the Anakim there too. Interesting, right? The sons of the giants.
Yeah. They're greater and taller than we.
Mm-hmm. Oh, but giants are fake, right? Everybody keeps saying that. The Anakim, the Raphaim, Nephilim, the Nephilim.
I wonder where their bones came from that everyone finds.
Yep, exactly. The excuses people try to make to deny Genesis 6 is mind-blowing. They just can't believe that's what really happened. All right. Then I said to you, have no dread nor fear of them. Yahweh your Elohim, who is going before you, he does fight for you, according to all he did for you in Egypt before your eyes, and in the wilderness, when you saw how Yahweh your Elohim has borne you, as a man bears his son, and all the way that you went until you came to this place. Yet in this matter you are putting no trust in Yahweh your Elohim, who is going before you in the way, to seek out a place for you to pitch your tents, to show you the way you should go, in fire by night and in cloud by day. And Yahweh heard the voice of your words and was wroth, and took an oath, saying, none of these men of this evil generation shall see the good land of which I swore to give to your fathers, except Caleb, son of Jephunneh. He shall see it, and to him and his children I give the land on which he walked, because he followed Yahweh completely. And Yahweh was enraged with me for your sake, saying, you do not go in there either. Joshua the son of Nun, who stands before you, he shall go in there. Strengthen him, for he shall cause Israel to inherit. And your little ones and your children, who you say are for a prey, who today have no knowledge of good and evil, they are going in there. And to them I give it, and they are to possess it. But you turn and take your journey into the wilderness by the way of the Red Sea. Wait a minute. I thought they just went by the way of the Red Sea, and they're already up there in Jerusalem. So why are they going to have to turn around and go back by the way of the Red Sea?
Yeah, very good point.
Guys, if you're looking at modern day maps, I'm going to tell you right now, your answers that you're looking for is you're going to be led astray. That's not the land, guys. You got to study this stuff diligently. They already went by the way of the Red Sea, so why would they turn around and have to go back north to the way of the Red Sea again?
Yep.
Or if they were already up there in that land where everybody says is the land, did they turn around and go south by the way of the Red Sea? And where did they go? To Arabia? Because it doesn't say that Israel was scattered to the south. It says Israel was scattered to the north country, does it not?
That's right.
They were scattered to the north amongst the heathen, and they were scattered to the four corners of the earth. So which way did they go?
Very good point.
Just pointing out some stuff for you guys to think about, because I know people are solely trusting on Google Maps and stuff when there's literal maps that you can go on Harvard University and look from back 1400s, 1500s that show you all these locations that I'm pointing out here, and it's not where they say it is. You don't think Satan rules this earth? You don't think he's found a way to deceive people to believe that that is the land?
And it happens. It's happening because I have had a conversation with a man the last couple days, and he has asked me if I am going to go and help build the temple over there. And I have explained to him that I don't believe that that is a temple, and I don't believe that's a promised land and all that. And he fully believes that it is, and he kind of is in line with what we believe and stuff. But that's the truth right there. Or that's how easy it is to deceive people from the truth. And I grew up thinking the same thing. So
Yeah, so did I. You know why we've been revealed the truth of where the land is? Because he's planning on taking us there.
yeah,
But remember, just like Israel of old, everything that you just read here is going to happen again. He's going to take us by the way of the Amorites and tell us to remove those inhabitants of the land. Like I said the other night, we're going into a land with our Messiah, but it's coming with an eviction notice for the inhabitants that are already in that land.
mm-hmm.
And this, what's written here, it's going to happen again, whether people like to admit that or not. You got people like Pastor Jimmy that come on here and say they don't even exist anymore. Hogwash. They don't know the prophets. When it says in the last days, those inhabitants are going to be judged by Yeshua himself.
Yeah. And it's repeated itself in the book over and over again. Why wouldn't it do it one more time at the end?
Where in Scripture does it ever say that he's removed them off the face of the earth?
Yeah.
It doesn't.
And who replaced them?
Huh?
Who replaced everybody? If they got removed, then everyone else must have been removed somehow too. You know. or they're all, it's just one of those doctrines that it doesn't feel right with his heart, so he doesn't want to believe it.
This is part of your sanctification, guys, is you got to learn to trust the Scripture and not what man says. And you got to renew your mind and trust exactly what the Scripture says, because the truth is in the Scripture. And I'm telling you right now, and I've showed it so many times. Me and Adrian have done it. We did a live. I think he's got it on his YouTube page. We literally show you on maps and stuff on his channel that that's not the land. With proof. With
Kelly
maps.
Kelly says, what about all the ancient ruins? A lot of that stuff is probably pre-flood ruins as well. Like especially the stuff that's buried in mud and stuff like that. Those are probably more than likely pre-flood stuff.
It's all stuff that you read on Google and you see on TV, and you need to leave it alone.
Yeah.
Trust the word. Because they can give you all kinds of images on TV to make you believe things, and images. They gave the an image and it was able to speak, and they fell down and worshiped the image. You guys need to fall down and worship this word, your Father in heaven and his Son. Trust the word.
That's right. Because everything else has pretty much been made by man.
Mm-hmm. That's right. So, all right. Verse 40, but you turn and take your journey into the wilderness by the way of the Sea of Reeds. Then you answered and said to me, we have sinned against Yahweh. We ourselves are going up, and we shall fight as Yahweh our Elohim commanded us. And when each one of you had girded up his battle gear, you were ready to go up into the mountain. And Yahweh said to me, say to them, do not go nor fight, for I am not in your midst, lest you be smitten before your enemies. So I spoke to you, but you would not listen, and rebelled against the mouth of Yahweh, and acted proudly, and went up into the mountain. Then the Amorites who dwelt in the mountain came out against you and chased you as bees do, and drove you back from Seir to Hormah. And you returned and wept before Yahweh, but Yahweh would not listen to your voice nor give ear to you. So you dwelt in Kadesh many days according to the days that you dwelt.
Mm-hmm. All right. Now we'll get into chapter 2. You want me to read that one?
Yeah, I just I'm pulling something up on the King James. Like I said, I don't disregard the King James at all. I'm just looking at something real quick.
Sounds good.
44.
Yeah, I'm guessing I got something new coming soon, but we'll see. Man, I get real stuffy all of a sudden. I hope I'm not getting what my kids got. Pardon me a moment.
Did you catch that in verse 44? I just learned something new, and I'm going to share it with all of you right now.
Well, I did not catch it. What do you got?
Read it.
And the Amorites, which dwelt in the mountain, came out against you and chased you as bees do, and destroyed you in Seir, even unto Hormah.
That's right. Hold on a second. We're going to learn together, guys. This is not something we're trying to rush through. So, a wasp, yes. 7:18. Think about it. What are bees? What did it just compare bees to, or a swarm, or wasps?
Okay.
Now we're going to go over to Isaiah 7:18.
Yeah, so that would be, I kind of see what it's saying here. Like the people coming up to the tribulation. So I spake unto ye, and ye would not hear, but rebelled against the commandment of Yahweh, and went up presumptuously up into the hill. Like they're, saying that all they need is faith and they'll be saved. Going up on the hill asking for salvation. And then the Amorites, which this would be like the locust army then, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And that's why I was reading Isaiah. Hold on. House days that shall not come, for the day Ephraim departed from Judah, even the king of Assyria. Yep. Isaiah 7:17 and 18 through. I'm sorry, Isaiah 7:17 through 19.
All right.
Psalms, Jude 14:18. I'm going to go over there next.
Yahweh shall bring upon thee and upon thy people and upon thy father's house days that have not come from the day that Ephraim departed from Judah, even the king of Assyria. And it shall come to pass in that day that Yahweh shall hiss for the fly that is in the uttermost part of the rivers of Egypt, and for the, the bee that is in the land of Assyria. And they shall come and shall rest all of them in the desolate valleys, and in the holes of the rocks, and upon all thorns, and upon all bushes.
That's right, the Amorites.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the flies that came into Egypt?
Yep.
Yeah. Part of the plague.
That would make sense. So that was like their locust army.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting. Does the Seir and Hormah have any significance?
Hold on one second. I'm sorry. Hold on one second. I'm picking up something. We're going down a rabbit hole here. Sorry.
All right, no problem.
Sorry. Oh, there it is. Judges 14:18.
And after a time, he returned to take her. And he turned aside to see the carcass of the lion. And behold, there was a swarm of bees and the honey in the carcass of the lion. So the lion ate the bees.
The bees are the Amorites, and they're in the internals of the lion, which is Assyria.
Ah, gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting.
I'm about to pull up another one. Hold on a second. This is getting deep. I love it. 1912. Ooh. Ooh. Go over to Psalms. Psalms 118:10 through 13.
All right.
It's awesome, guys. This should be a huge revelation for y'all.
All nations.
I just learned something new with you guys tonight, so I hope this is very helpful. This is exciting for me. So,
All right. All nations compassed me, but in the name of Yahweh will I destroy them. They compass me about, yea, they compass me about, but in the name of Yahweh I will destroy them. They compass me about like bees. They are quenched as the fire of thorns. For in the name of Yahweh I will destroy them. Thou hast thrust sore at me that I might fall, but Yahweh help me. Hallelujah. Wow.
The other nations, the thorns are other nations.
Yep.
The bees are the other nation.
Wow. That's good.
Yep. I thought so. Sorry.
Very good.
So the Amorites are the bees. I'm going to write that down. I hope somebody else is writing that down too.
Yeah.
Got my little list of genealogies here and all the what they represent. Going to add that to my little notch.
What is the honey representing in the carcass?
Sweetness. I'll give you the definition to help you understand that. It's I wrote it down just the other day.
Okay.
Where's that?
Well, I know that, like, when it's referring to the scrolls as far as what it would mean there, but I don't see how it would relate with anything, with the bees and the lion.
The honey is H1706. It means to be gummy. The delicacies provided by nature.
Oh, okay.
Soft like a kneaded mass. To be gummy, to be sticky. They're sticking to them. So the Amorites are sticking to the internals of Assyria.
That makes sense.
This is just what I'm gathering from it. Because it was in the belly of the lion with honey.
Yep. Thank you for that. I'm trying to figure out this thing on my computer on how I can do up the word search and stuff, and it's almost faster for me to just grab my books because I have no idea what I'm doing.
Okay.
I'm better with books and paper than I am technology. I don't know why. I'm just not good with it sometimes. Like Adrian was showing us on that live on how to highlight everything and how to put notes on the side and all that stuff. And that all just felt really overwhelming and made me anxious.
Why?
I just don't know. I don't know. I just can't do it. I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh,
Like if I had someone sitting down here with me to show me how to do it, it'd be a little easier. But
yeah, you just do it. Like here, I'll show you an example on how I do mine. If you want to.
yeah,
All right, sorry. See, I've got all mine color coordinated, so I know exactly what color is telling about what particular topic that I want, or I circle it, or I underline it a certain color to know like what the topic is talking about. And I always write my notes on the sides, like here,
yeah,
or like right here, the 4 horses, 4 horns, the 4 winds, and Leviticus. That's usually how I do it. It's not hard. You just, when it's
yeah,
talking about a certain topic or a certain word that has a precept, you compare it back and forth, and you know that word, and you want to highlight it a certain color. So that's usually how I do it. And I sit here with my computer like this, and I sit here with my notebook like this. And for an example, a good way to do this, like what I've just been doing, is when I've been going through the Torah here, is I'll write down the specific word, flowing myrrh or cinnamon, the anointing oil. I'll write down the shekels, the Hebrew word behind it, and then go behind it and write down the spiritual meaning. So say, let's just say cinnamon, right? Okay. So if we go over here, I'll pull this up. Crap. All right, so here it's talking about the anointing oil right here. And right here is, oh, sorry, hold on. This is kind of, there. That's better. All right, so this is cinnamon right here. Now I know the word is, why did it do that? Okay, right here. H7076. I use a King James Concordance app, but I never use this description because it doesn't give you the full amount. So what I'll do is I'll have my blue letter Bible up and ready. I'll just go over here, type in H7076, enter that in, let it pop up. Root meaning. The root meaning behind cinnamon is to be erect. So you go down here, you study this, meaning to be erect, cinnamon bark. What does that say? As upright rolls. Interesting, right? Scroll down. You go down to Chaldee lexicon, Greek. According to, where is it? Phoenician origin. The origin is doubtful. It seems, however, most simple to suppose a root. Sometimes the Hebrew lexicon helps, but it's mainly reading it by knowing what upright rolls is. What is upright? Keeping the Torah, of course. That's being upright. So it's pretty understanding what this means. And then I'll come back over here, write everything down, and then just take notes. Just keep on going. Tabernacles, all this stuff. So yeah, that's how I do everything. That's why that's why it takes me so long to go through a chapter or a book. You know, I was telling Adrian, it's like, man, I've been in Exodus and Leviticus for 3 months now because I'm literally just breaking down every word, writing it down, trying to make sure that I got the understanding. You know.
yeah. Yep, that's awesome. Yeah, that's in depth right there. And one of the I'm glad I have some fresh Bibles here that I haven't wrote in prior when I was, doing my Christian thing, so I can kind of start fresh with these without having to get new ones and do something like that. So that's awesome.
Yeah, you feel, I mean, it's, what's the word I'm looking for? It's definitely, it's a matter of kings to search out a matter. You know what I mean? And
Right.
that's, so always slow down when you're reading this stuff. You guys don't have to breeze through it. It's not a race, just slow down and actually try to be understanding of what's actually being said. Because if you're trying to rush through it like it's a race, you're never going to get the full understanding. You should be meditating on this, and if you run into something that you don't understand, lay down at night and just meditate on it. And you know how many times I've done that, and it was revealed to me when I was just laying down trying to meditate on the subject that I couldn't understand, and it's like Yahweh uploaded it in my head. And that's because we're commanded to meditate on the Torah day and night. It's not really an impressive thing though, guys. I mean, all of y'all can do it. It's not that impressive. It's just taking the time and devotion to want to know your Father and your Creator and His Son. Want to be a part of that covenant. So there's nothing really impressive about it, guys. It's just do the works. I just wanted to show you guys that so you can get an understanding on how you guys can do it. So.
Yeah, and finding a system that works for yourself, like what works for him and what works for Adrian isn't probably going to work for me. So if I try to do things the way they're doing it, I'm going to use things that they're doing and use it how it works for me. So
I will show you something funny here, though. Let's see here.
Sure.
That's all my. that's how many pins I've got sitting here.
See, that's my other issue is I don't have enough colors. I got 2 highlighters. I need more.
Yeah, I've got pins. I've got brighter highlighters. Like, as you can see, the orange is very bright. Yeah. But I've also got a plain orange that's not as bright, so I can distinct between the colors. So, but yeah, get you a couple highlighters and they're cheap. You can go at Walmart and get them for like $7 and get a pack of colored pens for like $7 and just. Yeah. Oh, I use a ruler. Yep, there's a broken ruler that I broke in half so I can draw straight lines under my scripture. So when I usually do it, and I'm only telling you guys this not to boast, I'm trying to tell you how I get this stuff so embedded in my head. So when you're reading this stuff, read it for the whole chapter. This is what I normally do, and this is what helps me. So I'm just passing on the information, is read the whole chapter, and then go back to the beginning of the chapter, underline it so you read it very slowly with a pen, a color of your choice, and then go back over it again a third time, and then highlight the key words and go through those words. Mm-hmm. That's usually how I do it. So.
Okay. So you kind of like go over a chapter a few times.
Yes, it's like reading 3 chapters, but one time. 1 chapter 3 times.
Gotcha.
Before I move on to the next chapter.
Gotcha. That's great. I think people are actually enjoying what we're talking about right now. Some people, anyways, because I think that's a problem. Is a lot of people don't know how to read it correctly. I mean, I'm one myself too. Like you have taught me how to slow down and read it a little more properly than I was. So that's helped open things up for me, like you were saying.
It's not me that teaches you, bro. It's the Father. I'm just trying to give you the best advice.
Yeah, right. Well, he always works through people, so someone's got to show me, or help bring it to my attention.
Right.
So, but that's the point I'm trying to make is that just us hearing it and us trying to think about it and doing it is the things we need to do actually and think about, and just learning how to do it the right ways. Because you're just right about how people just read right through it. And that's how I did it all the time. Is I just read right through it and then pick out what you can get out of it while you're doing it, instead of trying to understand the whole thing like you're talking about.
Yeah, you learn a lot more because you're really devoting yourself to understand your creator, and that's what we're commanded to do, you know. So,
Yep.
but
Yep.
I'm not ashamed that I showed you guys that I just learned something new, and that's why I'm going through the Torah again because I know there's stuff that I need to learn more about, and that's why I'm breaking down all the slaughterings and the feast and all that stuff, and understanding things in a deeper sense, a more spiritual sense than a carnal sense.
Right. Right. I
But
heard something today that was very impactful. And do you know why our flesh doesn't care if we sin or not? Like it doesn't. Our flesh doesn't. It doesn't matter to it whether we follow our Father or not.
well, it's because our flesh is sin. But go ahead.
Because it's not coming with us.
Yeah, true. Yeah, it's gonna become part of the earth again, the dust, which is death.
Yep. Yep. So I don't know. It's just that little bit right there. Just when you think about that, it will hit you. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, awesome. Well, we haven't really gotten very far, but we're having some good talks here and doing some good things.
Yeah, I think so. I learned something new tonight, so I'm pretty happy.
Yes, I bet, and I'm happy that we got to experience that with you because I think it helped us. It helped us out just as much as it helped you.
Because I was always look. I read Wisdom of Solomon, and it said that he sent wasps and forerunners, and I was thinking, what is that? But now I need to go back and look into that. But I think that's something else that's not pertaining to this. But I gotta go back and forth and find out. So it's interesting, definitely interesting.
Mm-hmm. My dog freaking chewed up the Wisdom of Solomon in my book last night.
Oh,
Like the first quarter of my Ethiopian Bible is trash now. But that's all right.
sorry to hear that.
That's what I get for trying to weigh down the garbage can with a book.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll show you guys. I don't know if it'll work with the green screen too well, but
Yeah, you got the green screen up. So
yeah, it's not gonna. I'll show you guys another time.
I see your icebreaker.
Icebreaker duo. That's funny. All right. Where are we at now? What direction are we going now?
Deuteronomy 2.
Okay. I'll start reading. All right. Then we turned and took our journey into the wilderness by the way of the Red Sea, as Yahweh spake unto me, and we compassed Mount Seir many times, or many days. And Yahweh spake unto me, saying, You have compassed this mountain long enough. Turn you northward, and command thou the people, saying, Ye are to pass through. Then pass through the coast of your brethren, the children of Esau.
Okay. I'm sorry, I have to pause you. This is just more confirmation here. They were south. They went north again by the way of the Red Sea, and they went towards Edom. Well, if you know exactly where Edom is, it was just south of Palestine.
Okay. So
So
they're almost to the east of Egypt again, then.
yes, it is. It's just northeast of Palestine. So they followed it by the way of the Red Sea.
Yep.
They were south. They were south, and then they went north, and they went up to Edom. This was condemned Israel that didn't get to go into the land.
Okay. And they shall be afraid of you. Take ye good heed unto yourself, therefore. Meddle not with them, for I will not give you of their land. No, not so much as a foot breadth, because I have given Mount Seir unto Esau for possession.
Remember that. Pause real quick. We're going to go on a small detour. This is very, very important. Hold on real quick.
Well, good night, wifey. Hunter, we are actually in Deuteronomy chapter 2, verse 5 to be exact.
Hold on real quick. I'm sorry, but this is important. Crap. What does that say in your King James? How does that spelled? S-E-I-R?
Yeah. Are you looking for the Strongs?
No. I'm trying to find this in a specific prophet. There it is. I think. Hold on. Okay. All right. Never mind. We'll go over there a different time. I'm sorry. We'll go over there a different time.
Okay.
I just wanted to pull something up and look at that prophecy on Seir.
All right. Sounds good. Ye shall buy meat of them for money, that ye may eat, and ye shall also buy water of them for money, that ye may drink. For Yahweh thy Elohim hath blessed thee in all the works of thy hand. He knoweth thou walking through this great wilderness. These 40 years Yahweh thy Elohim hath been with thee. Thou hast lacked nothing. And when we passed by from our brethren the children of Esau, which dwelt in Seir, through the way of the plain from Elah and from Ezion Gaber, we turned and passed by the way of the wilderness of Moab. And Yahweh said unto me, Distress not the Moabites, neither contend with them in battle, for I will not give thee of their land for a possession, because I have given Ar unto the children of Lot for a possession. The Emims dwelt therein times past, a people great and many and tall as the Anakims, which also were accounted giants as the Anakims, but the Moabites called them Emims. The Horims also dwelt in Seir before time, but the children of Esau succeeded them when they had destroyed them from before them, and dwelt in their stead, as Israel did unto the land of his possession, which Yahweh gave unto them.
I want to point out something to you real quick. Apology. The word for Seir is H8165, and here's the definition. Formed like H8163, rough, Seir, a mountain of Udumea, and its aboriginal occupants also one in Palestine.
Interesting. Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, that's all right. Mine says hairy as well.
Where is it at? Where are you at? I'm sorry.
Mine says hairy or shaggy for definition is it for it as well.
What, Esau?
No, for that 8165.
Hold on.
Seir. That Seir.
8165, yeah. 8165. Yeah, because it's hairy. He was a hairy man, remember?
Yeah, Isu.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Formed rough Seir, a mountain of Udumea's original occupants, also one in Palestine. It is part of Palestine. They
So
were,
yeah, the mountain was just named after the people that are hairy and whatnot.
and they were the ones that took the land of Palestine and called it Israel.
Yep.
Hairy and rough. Yep, a leader of the Horites, of a mountainous region of Edomites, extending from the Dead Sea to the Atlantic Gulf, the northern part of which is now called Jabal. Yep, that's what everybody is idolizing right now. The land, Udumea, Esau's land, part of Palestine. That's all there. That's all that place is over there, guys. We can continue to prove this over and over and over again. And everybody says Edom died off. No, Isaiah 63 specifically says Yeshua is coming back to judge them. They're part of Jeremiah 25. They're being judged. Esau has not died off. He's still very much a part of this world. He's the one that's going to be part of destroying this world.
Yep. Very interesting. I love getting into this stuff. I'm learning a lot. All right. Now rise up, said I, and get you over the brook of Zered. And we went over the brook of Zered, and the space in which we came from Kadesh Barnea until we were come over the brook of Zered was 38 years, until all the generation of the men of war were wasted out from among the host of Yahweh. Swear unto them. For indeed the hand of Yahweh was against them to destroy them from among the host until they were consumed. So it came to pass, when all the men of war were consumed and dead from among the people, that Yahweh spoke unto me, saying, Thou art to pass over through Ar, the coast of Moab, this day. And when thou comest nigh over against the children of Ammon, distress them not, nor meddle with them, for I will not give thee of the land of the children of Ammon for any possession, because I have given it to the children of Lot for a possession. That also was accounted a land of giants. Giants dwell therein in old time, and the Amorites call them Zamzummim and Zamzummins. A people great and many and tall as the Anakims. But Yahweh destroyed them before them, and they succeeded them and dwelt in their stead. As he did to the children of Isu, which dwelt in Seir, when he destroyed the Horims from before them, and they succeeded them and dwelt in their stead, even unto this day. And the Avims, which dwelt in Hazarim, even unto Azah, the Caphdorims, which came forth out of Caphdor, destroyed them and dwelt in their stead. Rise ye up, take your journey, and pass over the river of Arnon. Behold, I have given unto thy hand Sihon, the Amorite king of Heshbon, and his land. Begin to possess it, and contend with him in battle. This day will I begin to put the dread of the fear, or of thee, and the fear of thee upon the nations that are under the whole heaven. Who shall hear report of thee, and shall tremble, and be in anguish because of thee? I sent messengers out of the wilderness of Kedemoth, and Sihon, king of Heshbon, with words of peace, saying, Let me pass through thy land. I will go along by the way, or by the highway. I will neither turn unto the right hand, nor to the left. Thou shalt sell me meat for money, that I may eat, and give me water for money, that I may drink. Only I will pass through on my feet. As the children of Isu, which dwelt in Seir, and the Moabites, which dwell in Ar, did unto me. until I shall pass over Jordan into the land which Yahweh our Elohim giveth us. But Sihon, king of Heshbon, would not let us pass by him. For Yahweh thy Elohim hardened his spirit, and made his heart obstinate, that he might deliver him into thy hand, as appeareth this day. Sounds just like the Pharaoh, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And Yahweh said unto me, Behold, I have begun to give Sihon and his land before thee. Begin to possess, that thou mayest inherit his land. Then Sihon came out against us, he and all his people, to fight at Jahaz. And Yahweh our Elohim delivered him before us, and we smote him and his sons and all his people. And we took all his cities at that time, and utterly destroyed the men, and the women, and the little ones of every city. We left none to remain. Only the cattle we took for a prey unto ourselves, and the spoil of the cities which we took. From Aroer, which is by the brink of the river of Arnon, and from the city that is by the river unto Gilead, there was not one city too strong for us. Yahweh our Elohim delivered all unto us. Only unto the land of the children of Ammon thou camest not, nor unto any place of the river of Jabbok, nor unto the cities in the mountains, nor unto whatsoever Yahweh our Elohim forbade us.
Mm-hmm. What time is it? Dang, sorry, 10:17.
Yeah, it's getting late quick.
Yeah, that's how it usually goes when we really dig deep into this stuff. Sorry.
Hey, how's it going, brother? Yeah, I don't mind stopping there though. That's 2 hours is good for me.
Yeah, I'd say so. Probably won't take you as long to upload it to YouTube.
Actually, it doesn't take that long. It goes pretty quick as long as I keep the app open and keep my phone open.
Mm-hmm.
It goes real quick. But yeah, I got the kids, so these shorter sessions are good, so I can still spend some time with them.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I need to go through all this and on private time and re-go. I'm trying to get back here. I got to go through the book of Numbers again.
You opened up a bit of a can of worms a bit tonight, huh?
I'm almost done with the sacrifices and the oblations, the peace offerings, and the anointing of the 144. Knowing how the 144 are going to be anointed in a spiritual sense, not in this literal sense. It's a lot. There's so much to it. And a lot of it is remaining humble, keeping the covenant.
Yeah.
And showing no partiality, even if it comes to your own mother, brother, son, daughter. You can't, just like Yeshua said, anybody who loves mother, son, brother, daughter more than me is not worthy of me. And that applies to the Levites.
Yeah.
When it comes to keeping the covenant of the Father.
Yeah, there was something, I read a verse. Oh, I can't remember where it was, but it says they will raise up a people that they don't care about saving the poor or helping the kids or helping the children. Like that must be talking about the 144, the no partiality.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, it had something to do with on my search when I was looking through Dan for the tribe of Dan, but I can't remember the verse off my head. But anyways, I'm sure you've read it already before anyways. But good to see you all coming in. A lot of you came in kind of towards the end here. Shalom, Leo. And we're just going to head off. We are doing this at about 7:30 Mountain Standard Time, 8:30 Central. So we try to kick off then, and hopefully y'all can make it tomorrow night. Oh, But we appreciate you being here tonight, and love you all.
Yep, love you guys, and thanks for coming. Sorry, even though I took an hour nap, I'm still feeling tired. I don't know why. Like, I just want to go to sleep right now.
Well, that's probably what I'm going to be doing here soon, so don't feel bad if you do. All right. Love you, brother.
All right, love you too, man. And you guys have a good night. I hope it was a fruitful night for you guys.
Yes, yes. Love you all, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yep. Good night.